small kingdoms, some of the big kingdoms. The kingdom was called Maharajah.
All these people that lived here at the Amber Fort back in time, I can imagine the scene now, sitting on these elephants and riding up here. So it's like I've time warped. I feel like I've gone back in time.
A time warp to the era of the Mogul empires and the rule of the Maharaja. The Exploring India edition of the Faizal Sayed Show takes you on an adventurous journey, immersed in rich culture and history. India is the epitome of wisdom surrounded by history. Explore the bustling streets, the cuisine, and the life and path treaded by sages on this epic journey through India.
One of the things about India that fascinates me is the architecture, and there's a strange connect which I try to think about when I'm in India, and that's the fact that it takes so many years to build the forts and to build the Taj Mahal and those kind of buildings. But I mean, if you think about it all, the fact that it takes so many years in your lifetime, if it takes 30 years to conceptualize a particular structure and then also live there, does one have enough time? So that's something that has gone through my mind for a long time. The Amber Fort is no different. I think the Maharajah Man Singh took many years to develop what he's developed there. But amazingly, he lives in this very plush environment, and my mind goes back to all of that as our tour guide takes us through that historical journey. Well, that's what this episode is about. A historical journey taking you through to the time of the Maharaja.
This is the number 1 apartment from where we are coming. This is number 2 in the center, number 3 in the corner. 3 apartments here, in the same way 3 here. 1, 2, 3. 3 other side, 3 other side. So 3 into 4, 12 apartments all around. This is the common meeting area for all the 12 queens. All the 12 queens used to come here in the evening and they used to meet over here. They're gossiping, chatting. Sometimes they fight also. Sometimes they fight. Sometimes when they talk nicely, sometimes they fight also. Right. And the main specialty of these apartments, the entrances of each apartment is been interconnected. So Maharaja could move from one apartment to another apartment. In those days, the children, I'm coming your question, right? Madam was asking how the children used to live over here. There were many children, like 30 to 40 children were there. And when the children were small, like 5, 6, 7, 8 years, they used to live over there on the top. There was a separate accommodation for the children, and the maid servants used to help the children. Maid servants look after them very nicely. Girls used to stay over here. When the boys grown up at the 10 or 11, they were sent to the boarding schools. They were not supposed to live over here. They used to send them in the school outside, the boarding schools, like ashrams, and they used to give them different kind of training. Like they used to teach them different languages, they used to teach them horse riding, they used to give them training for different kind of weapons, like a political training and those kind of things, because they want to make them very good warriors. So they were not supposed to live with their parents. They always used to live away from their parents. Once in a year they used to come for holidays, just for a couple of months. Otherwise they used to live outside. When after finishing all the education, all their academic career, then they used to come here. Maharaja used to see their abilities. According to that, those were given the area for the ruling. If it is more intelligent, he used to give big area. It is a small, it's a normal, then he used to give the small area, like that. According to the capability, according to their academic qualification and those kind of things. So that was the system. Oh, that was really very beautiful. Just you can imagine, go 200, 300 years ago, and just you can imagine how beautifully this was been decorated. Even this place was very beautifully decorated with the nice canopies, and these walls were beautifully decorated with the nice beautiful paintings, and there was a nice beautiful carpets and everything. And even over there you see there's a nice beautiful chandeliers and beautiful colorful curtains and those kind of things. This is the place where the Maharaja used to stand over there, and he used to keep eye on every woman. And the main specialty of these apartments, the entrances of each apartment is been interconnected. So Maharaja could move from one apartment to another apartment.
Where was the Maharaja's?
Very good question.
I actually wanted to know
Where
that.
was the Maharaja doing what?
Which was the Maharaja's apartment?
His apartment.
Right. Okay, now I will explain it. Again, 5 minutes. Okay. You see, in those days, what happened? The Maharajas very busy in the war and battles and those kind of things. So whenever the Maharaja used to come after winning the war, all the 12 queens used to give the prior informations that on particular day Maharaja is coming. So all the 12 queens decorate themselves with a nice clothes, jewelry, shampoo their hair. There was no beauty parlors in those days. So maids used to help them to get ready. All these 12 queens used to go individually in their apartments. 12 apartments. So 12 women used to go individually in their apartment and they sit very nicely with the clothes and jewelry. Maharaja used to start from number 1. From 1 he goes to second to third to fourth. So he moved from 1 to 12 and he choose 1. And the chosen queen was being taken to the winter palace or the summer palace. That was the master bedroom for the Maharaja. All 11 queens used to live over here. The chosen queen was being taken over there according to the season. If it is winter, then they used to live in the winter palace. If it is summer, they used to live in the summer palace. Clear? This was the system. Was official wife, unofficially he was having men. So he wanted to keep happy to all his 12 wives. That is why he made 12 different apartments.
So the Amber Fort is located in Ajmer, Rajasthan, India. Amber, as some people would say, is a town with an area of 4 square kilometers, located 11 kilometers from Jaipur, the capital of Rajasthan. Located high on a hill, is the principal tourist attraction of the Jaipur area, and obviously these were built by the Meenas, and it was later ruled by Rajah Man Singh. Now, for me personally, I found his life fairly interesting, and it's not all about his wives, as they will say. Well, Man Singh lived in the time of 1550 to 1614 as per the Gregorian calendar, and was the Rajput Rajah of Amber, a state later known as Jaipur in Rajputana. He was a trusted general of the Mughal Emperor Akbar, who included him among the Navaratnas, or the 9 gems of the royal court. His daughter Manorama Bai was married to the Crown Prince Dara, the elder son of Emperor Shah Jahan and the brother of Aurangzeb. For me, this particular aspect of the trip was very interesting because it gives one the sense that you actually go back in time and you try to imagine the carpets, the curtains, the royal guard, and everybody moving around back in time. What I found very funny actually was the fact that, as per our tour guide, that the Rajah at the time would move between all his wives and then decide who he was then taking to the winter palace.
They lit fire here and they heat up the water. It's like a geyser of those days. When we'll go inside, then I will show you this. You understand? In those days there was no electricity, so just they heat up the water over here. Just they lit fire and they heat up the water. It's a very big water tank. Custard is done with the eggs shell and she shell. Just they combine these two things, mix with the oil, and then plaster is done over here. Same kind of thing is over here. Jacuzzi here on the left hand side. This is the washroom here. As a spa. This is the tank for the hot water. This is the tank for the cold water. So this was for the ladies. It's like a hammam. We call Turkish bath is a hammam. And here this is the same kind of plaster. Just I explain you outside. This plaster is done with the egg shell, she shell mixed with the oil, and then this plaster is done here. So in the summertime it helps to keep you cool. In winters it helps you keep warm. These are the original hooks for the curtains. There was no doors over here. They were having nice beautiful curtains over here. And this is the nice beautiful garden on my left hand side. That's the saffron garden, as I told you. This on the wall, it's a nice beautiful design of the perfume and the wine bottle design over here. This was the place for the ladies. This place is called Hall for Pleasure. These are the original hooks for the curtains. They were having nice beautiful fabric curtains over here. Now here I'm going to explain you the cooling device. The cooling device over here without electricity, just we can say eco-friendly. In those days, no electricity, just they enjoy the cooling device. That's we call eco-friendly cooling device. Before going to the Hall of Pleasure, here you can see on my right hand side, this is a wheelchair. This is a wheelchair for the Maharani. In those days, when there was any special occasions like a wedding, marriage anniversary, any birthday party, so the main queen decorate herself with the heavy clothes and jewelry. The weight of the jewelry and clothes was too much. She was not able to walk. She was not able to walk because of heavy clothes as well as jewelry. So the queen used to sit on this wheelchair, and she used to move from one place to another place sitting on this wheelchair. Like a dolly, you're right. Now on the other side, this place is called Hall for Pleasure. This is the Hall for Pleasure. In those days, no electricity, just they enjoy the cooling device. Please come forward. Now see, there is a tank on the wall. There is a tank on the wall. So they used to fill water manually. Water used to run down through these holes when the wind blew across. So they used to get cool air, and extra water used to flow through this channel, and water used to go down into the garden. Just you can see the holes. Through those holes, water used to move from one part to another part. So automatically the irrigation was done over here. So just they recycle the water, right? And here these are the original hooks for the swing. These are the original Jhula. You understand Jhula? Very good, excellent. So you are very, she's very smart.
Husband built the one day down.
So what happened, you know, this was made by the Maharaja for his queens. Why? Because they always keep them very cool. So what happened, the queen used to sit on the swing. She used to keep her legs in the water and she keeps herself very cool. On the other side, she used to have very good noise of running water. On the other side, she used to have very good smell of the flowers from the garden. So this place is called Hall for Pleasure. The nice beautiful design of the same garden you can see over here on the left hand side. Beautiful design of the same garden, and the white one is ivory, the tusk of elephant. So this door is made of sandalwood. Sandalwood is a very expensive wood. Yeah, this white one is ivory, the tusk of elephant. And the beautiful design of the same garden. Hall of Mirror and Man Singh Palace. Slanting windows, so they could have air, ventilation and light. And this is the same kind of the plaster as I explained you over here. This is the place where they used to keep oil lamp in those days. But now you see there is electric lamps over here. So this, you can see on my right hand side, this is the one of the most beautiful part of the Amer Fort. This is, we call it Winter Palace. It's called Hall of Mirror. We call it Sheesh Mahal. Sheesh Mahal, because there is convex glasses on the ceiling. In those days there was no electricity, so they use oil lamps. When the light of the oil lamps reflect the ceilings, so they were having multiple reflections. Outside they were having nice curtains. On the floor there was nice beautiful woolen carpets. So the heat which was being generated by the oil lamps, the heat was being trapped by curtains as well as by carpet. So it helps the room warm. It helps to keep the room warm. Like we saw the cooling device over there, this is heating device over here. These are original one.
It's unbelievable.
Original one. These are original one. These all glasses were from Belgium in those days. Like 300 years ago, they bought all these glasses from the Belgium in those days.
This was great.
Right? It's like a mosaic. It's like a mosaic. Right? This is also single piece of marble here. Now, please can you put torch on your mobile? I'm going to show you the reflection. Put a torch. This one, this was in 1592, 16th century. 16th century, 400 I would say. Please, can you give me your cell phone? Can you put torch on this mobile? Look at this. Can you see here? Can you see reflection? Look at this. Yes? No? No? Yes. Look at this. Now you can see here.
Oh, it's lighting up.
Look at this. Now just you can imagine, I'm doing it with only one light. If they were having 100 of oil lamps, so the light of the 100 of oil lamps reflect. So just you can imagine how beautiful it looks. When there was a dark inside, when they use oil lamps, so it reflects like this. So the Maharaja feel himself as just he's sleeping under the sky. Yes. Right? This is the Winter Palace. No tools, no electricity. Just you can imagine how these things were done by hand. This work is done on a single piece of marble. Look at this. Just I'm hiding the lower part. You see the upper part, it looks like a pair of cobra, pair of snake, like this. Is it clear? Now it looks like a tail of the lion. Tail of the lion, it looks like a trunk of the elephant. Right? This butterfly. Then it looks like an ear of elephant. Then it looks like a horn of deer. Then it looks like a small the insect is the ant. Then it looks like a beehive over there. So I mean to say, just everything was done by hand. That is why just you can see the life of all these kind of things. 300, 400, still it looks very beautiful. Right? Start. This is the old part of the palace. We call it apartments for the 12 queens. This is the one apartment for one queen. This one apartment has 2 bedrooms, 1 bedroom in the corner. This is a small bedroom. Outside there is a kitchen. 2 bedroom, 1 kitchen, 1 bathtub. So we can say 2 BHK, 2 bedroom kitchen hall for 1 queen. That was a bathtub here. In those, and just you can imagine how, because this is open bath, because this was only for the ladies.
I feel like I've stepped into a story tale, and I've stepped into a book 300 to 400 years ago. This is the very spot that the Maharaja used to walk and live, and we heard all the stories about how he handled the queens and that sort of thing. But for me, the interesting thing is, when I'm here, I feel like a time warp, like something happens to me. So I try and visualize the curtains, the carpets and everything, and just sort of thinking, it's a very surreal feeling that it really happened here.
It's very difficult to fathom how these people lived 400 years ago. The structures of the size and buildings of this beauty and magnificence and opulence. They've taken a lot of hard work, labor to put it up. Yeah, I think also you got to think that these buildings are sort of signs of power to a certain extent, because these are all buildings of royalty. And yeah, I think you have to think how the lifestyle was. And this is just a few people who obviously lived in those places. But yeah, I guess it puts things into perspective and says some people live in indulgence, some people don't.
I enjoyed this, my visit to this fort. I learned a lot. It was very informative. And you know, to appreciate this, one has to understand architecture, one has to understand art. And if you understand art, you will really enjoy you'll enjoy seeing this thing there. I'm happy that I came here, and I really want to thank Mr. Singh for all his effort and the way he explained. I think he did his work very professionally, and I understand the whole dynasty now, and how the descendants were, how this whole Amber Fort was handed over from one generation to the next, and how the king lived with his 12 wives. And you know, it's amazing. It's amazing how the architecture, how it was done those days, and it's brilliant, and it is fantastic, and it's I really enjoyed the thing there, and I appreciated all his efforts.
There's a particular couple that took a photo of themselves on the elephant, and this entire thing turned out to be a big negotiation. Well, these guys didn't realize that we are Indian coming to India, and we have augmented the way that we operate. So there's no way an Indian in India is going to beat us when it comes to negotiation. And oh my God! Oh, look here! Oh my God!
How much? How much?
But anyway, we just on our way down. We're coming down by jeep from the Amber Fort. We went up by elephant. I'm not sure what is faster, the elephant or the jeep. Huh?
No. So imagine the scene. It's 1600s. It's cold weather. You're at the Winter Palace. They've got all these mirrors on the walls and on the ceiling, and there's these oil lamps and these beautiful draped curtains and these plush carpets. Imagine that scene. Well, that's exactly what the Amber Fort and the Amber Palace was like in the time of Maharajah Man Singh. I'm thinking about that geyser that we saw. Amazing how they heated the water, and the fact that he tried growing saffron in the garden, which didn't work. Thank you for joining us on this exciting episode. Don't forget to visit my website at faizalsayed.com and stay tuned for the next episode of Exploring India.